Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's intraday analysis video brought to you by the creators of proprietary price, pattern, and time methodology. Learn the PPT strategies and profit for life. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, guys, let's get into gear today on this Thursday, February 28th, last day of the trading month. Markets are higher again after a tremendous rally yesterday. And the key is interesting here to see the market slowly approaching the negation of the entire down move, which occurred, as you can see, on Monday. This is Monday's action, folks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday today. And here's where we hit the high on Monday before the epic collapse that we saw, where the Dow reversed about 300 points. Clearly, what you can see here is a market that from that low pivot on Tuesday, the markets have reversed and now have negated the entire move down. That's including the high pivot. Now, again, we're not above that area yet, so I think that warrants kind of mentioning. But it is important to mention that any sort of massive reversal like this should be taken and understood as a powerful reversal. Now, there's a couple other factors brewing here, in my opinion. First off, the Dow is nearing its all-time highs. Right now, the Dow is trading up 66 points at 14,142. The Dow Jones Industrial all-time high is basically 50 points away right now, give or take a little bit. My guess is, my gut tells me, they want the Dow to close at all-time highs tomorrow being Friday. All right, I'm just going to go out on a limb and assume that, which means the markets will go up a little bit more tomorrow, if not today. Maybe they do it today, but it's more likely they do it tomorrow on a Friday, and then the media can pump. And that's always what they do. If you look back and see exactly when all-time highs or 52-week highs are made, it's primarily on Fridays because then the media will pump it Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday into the following week. You get the biggest bang for your buck. Institutions want to see that because then they can distribute and sell into it. At the same time, what you also notice is, when do most retail investors go out and spend money at stores? For retail sales, buying new TVs, computers, whatever it may be? The answer is on the weekend. So if the media is pumping this all-time high close on the Dow, people are feeling good and jolly, more likely they're going to go out and spend on a weekend. Therefore, closing that market at an all-time high on a Friday is very advantageous. Very, very advantageous. All right, guys, so that's what we have going on right here. The market, again, doing its thing. We're basically into that double top. We haven't taken it out yet. And just for technical purposes, if you close above that high, that's a negation of this whole inside bar down move. All right, basically, if you close above the high here from Monday, that's a negation, and that would actually be a negation of any bearishness. As long as you technically are trading below and you close below the high here from Monday, you still don't have a full negation of the inside bar. So, I mean, there's some different little factors here on a technical basis. In addition, I think it's important to recognize that the pivot high, the 52-week high on the spiders, has not yet been taken out. Even though the Dow is there, you're not seeing it taken out on the S&P 500, which is also kind of an interesting factor. Now, my guess is if they close the Dow this Friday at a new all-time high, maybe next Friday they close the S&P at a new all-time high. NASDAQ most likely won't get there because, again, you have to figure that was 5,000. The NASDAQ was at 5,000 back in 2000, 1999, 2000, the tech bubble, and that's still a long, long way away. But nonetheless, it is kind of interesting to see where they're bringing this market to into the Friday tomorrow, and we'll see again if I'm correct that they do try to close the Dow at an all-time high into Friday, so the retail sales will be great. The media can pump all weekend long. All right, let's take a look at a couple other things here, folks. Today, Apple continues to really underperform the market. It is positive today, but at the same time, you've seen such a massive rally yesterday and today combined. And if you look at the markets, I mean, what do you really have here? I mean, the Apple chart literally is basically down over the last 2 days. Up $1.50 today. Yesterday was down $4. That's not good. So every day we look at Apple, we continue to see this weakness. And here's your daily chart of Apple, barely holding on. I mean, the markets are all the way up here, and the Apple chart is literally way, way down. I mean, all the way down here at the lows. So very poor movement on Apple today, but there are other stocks performing well. JPM's up 21 cents, which isn't that great a day. Goldman's up about 18 cents. The big movers today, Chevron CVX, beautiful move on Chevron the last 2 days, really 3 days in a row, 1, 2, 3 on the daily chart, really right up, piercing the double top here. This actually could at this stage, and I would guess that Chevron does trade up to this double top here. That's probably your shorting level short term on Chevron. All right, Chevron again, amazing move here from the 100 level all the way nearing the 120 level over the last, really since mid-November. So you're talking about the last 4 months or so, 4.5 months of trading action. All right, so we obviously know where the spiders stand right now. Another solid advancement there. Dow approaching all-time highs. You haven't technically closed above the high from Monday, therefore it's not a 100% negation of the inside bar move, but it is close. If you do close above that, then you start turning your attention to the double top on the SPY and the S&P as your next resistance point. All right, couple stocks in motion today. Let's take a look at a couple of them. Groupon's obviously getting hammered today. Bad news there, but that's even come well off its lows. It opened down around the 425 level and has since rallied to about 475, which is about a 10% move off the lows. Still down drastically on the day, but has come back pretty nicely. BlackBerry today, BBRY, having an okay day, up 22 cents. Really nothing doing there. The stock continues, in my opinion, to head towards this 200 MA at the 1050 level. It's actually making a bear flag now, two moving averages above. Very, very bearish setup starting to form. Not fully formed yet, but starting to form. All right, couple other stocks in motion today. BSFT. All right, let's take a look at BSFT. This is Broadsoft. Stock again hammered today. Not good news out from that company. Down $8.50. That stock again did put in a little bit of a pivot low. This was really a great low. It didn't hit. That would have been a buy for me if it did hit that level, and obviously it didn't get there. You had a couple other little pivots there, but nonetheless, it did have a nice bounce off its lows, about $1 bounce off its lows right now in this course of the day. Google's having a good day today, up about $7. That stock continues, although it hasn't taken out the 52-week highs yet. If we look at Google again trading right at those, near those 52-week highs right up there, but hasn't taken it out. Really, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is the one raking it in today. We saw Home Depot earnings yesterday, which were a great catalyst for the stock in the Dow, which helped the Dow as well. And again, Dow components are 30 stocks. Very easy for them to get the Dow components up. The only thing that kind of bothers me about the Dow components, folks, and this doesn't necessarily hold true for Home Depot, but usually the Dow components are more of the conservative stocks, like the blue chips that pay a dividend. You know, the fact that the NASDAQ, if you look at the Qs chart, and especially Apple, but the NASDAQ has just underperformed so drastically in 2013 that you have to wonder again, you know, what's up with the accumulation of the blue chips? You know, if that's more of a conservative position, is that trying to tell us something going forward? And again, I'm not necessarily, you know, jumping to any conclusions, but I do think it warrants kind of a little bit of attention there, and we should keep an eye on it. All right, guys. So that's where we stand right now. Going back to the SPY, let's just take a peek. We are basically holding a dime off. You can see an exact touch of that double top right there. And again, chat room members obviously scalping that. Just a little bit of a scalp there, worth it for about 10 to 15 cents. And again, this is just classic day trading. If you hit a double top like that high pivot from Monday, you can short that and pierced it by a penny or two and look at the pullback. You're now down about 12 cents or so off that high. So I don't know if the high will hold or not today. I do know it's major resistance right now, and we will be watching very closely to see how it all trades out. Volume today, 70.5 million. Ridiculously light volume. I mean, the volume, again, we had such heavy volume on the sell side, and then floated the markets up on about half as much volume as the down move was, which again, for those of us that are understanding of the market, should be disconcerting, but at the same time, it shouldn't keep you from making a little bit of money on the upside when they do this type of thing. Anytime the markets are near their highs, any pullback is going to have major buying in it, as the traders that missed the move up will jump in and buy every dip until it doesn't work anymore. And then once it flushes through, they'll be too scared to do it, and that's when the market actually officially bottoms. Kind of an interesting little perplexed environmental condition of traders there. All right. On that note, I'm going to step aside, folks. I'm going to continue to trade in the intraday stock chat here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Come take the 7-day free trial. You can take the 7-day free trial to the Research Center, which is geared towards swing traders and investors, or the intraday stock chat, which is geared towards day traders. Take care, guys. Again, enjoy. Nice little pullback in the spiders here off beautiful double top. And again, we'll see if it lasts or if it's just a minor scalp trade to the downside. Take care.